And these are tricky topics. I share
Mhm.
some more tips on my YouTube about how breath work and breathing when you self pleasure can really amplify your orgasm. And just learning, like when I work with my clients, I show them techniques and practices through Tantra where they can really rock their worlds and experience pleasure in a whole new way, where it's really powerful and can kind of rejuvenate you because pleasure can be medicine too. So
Mhm.
just approaching it like as a ritual, it was like a self-care, self-love practice, and getting all the yumminess and juiciness out of it and dropping any shame about it because it's your body. So even for males, I do want to share with you something. For anatomically male and female, when we're in utero and before we differentiate between if we're like male or female, the same cluster of cells that form to be the G spot also form in females form to be the prostate gland in males. So the P spot is like the male G spot. So I don't know about you, but I like my G spot to be found and I like it to be loved on and stimulated. So for so many with males, like, oh my gosh, if I do anything, any anal play or I pleasure myself in that way, that makes me gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they have like these ideas that it's shameful and it's bad. It's like it's your body, and when you're being with yourself, or even if you're having your partner do this with you, it's not gay.
Yeah.
It's you more in your body. Males can have some really amazing, cathartic, like very profound orgasmic experiences by stimulating this area, and it's actually very healthy for the prostate. So it is important though that you do use a toy that is, if you're using a different object, that is safe for your body and that
Yeah.
has a wide base, because in rectally, anally, toys can get lost. It creates a vacuum and those things will disappear. So this goes for
Mhm.
females or males. When we're playing in that area, we have to be sure that we're using things that are appropriate so that we
Yeah.
don't have a trip to the ER.
Yeah.
So,
Which happens more than you would think. My friend was working in an ER and she was just the other day telling me about all these things. I was like, that actually happened? She was like, oh, yeah.
oh yeah, I've been a nurse for a long time. I've had stories about patients who like try to use a water hose up there.
Oh, my goodness. Everything.
Like, you would not even believe. And I had a patient once, and this was before laparoscopic surgery, and he came into the hospital and literally from like right below his rib cage all the way down to his pubic bone, he had a long incision, and came to the ER, said he fell on his sex toy. And it was still then, so he was in the ER for hours, and they must have been like the Energizer batteries, because they said hours later in the op note that it was still going.
Oh, my God.
They had to like open him up and like take it out, and bless his heart, he was in his 20s and I was younger then and I was in my 20s, and I'm having to go and look at his incision at my shift, and he was so mortified every time I had to look at him. He was so embarrassed, because this was in Texas too. He was so
Oh, yeah.
said let this happen with his wife, but like no one ever came to visit him. Like it's just like it was really something else. So yeah, like that can really happen. But with my male clients, I'll coach them on like trying to explore that area and just see how that works for them. And even there's some products that are even made out of crystals, have different healing products that are
Mhm.
healing properties that are actually made for anal play. And so just knowing how to explore that can really cause like a profound experience of having an immense pleasure in your body. And like it's your body, so you get to do with it what you want. You're not hurting anyone else by exploring your body. As long
No.
as you're doing it safely and then
Yeah.
not in the ER, then go for it.
It's so funny that you went into that subject, is this synchronicity thing, because I had 3 comments on Facebook here that were about that they're, even though like men, it's like known that men masturbate, that there is a stigma that they can't explore their own bodies as much as women can socially, or at least be open about it, and that a lot of what men want to do is considered weird or gay or wrong. And I think I've been really fortunate that I've had a few partners who have been super open with me and not been afraid to venture down that road, but it always starts out that way. It's always a like,
Very
oh,
shame.
I don't know, I don't want to be gay. Like, well, I shouldn't say it always starts that way, but often it does. Not that
Hmm.
there's anything wrong with being gay, anyways,
Yeah, there's not.
but
You do
I
you
know,
want to
yeah,
do.
they feel like they're less manly. And I mean, I'll be open and say I've done anal before, and that shit hurts. And so if a guy can take it and I can't, like, props to you, because I have a real hard time with it. So I don't know. I know it's really easy to get embarrassed about things or to be afraid to try them. But I think that's where you just have to decide for yourself what you think is right or wrong. I was raised that everything was wrong, basically. But you know, you got to find out what you think in your own mind and what's right for you. And once you come to terms with what's okay and what's not for you, then like everything else is a lot easier.
It's really important. It's their pleasure spot, and they should be able to play with that and explore that and not have any shame about it.
I couldn't imagine if I had like the most like sensitive, pleasurable spot on my body was shamed. And it's a lot of work to get over the shame. And I had someone, Chad, here on Facebook also saying how it's especially shamed in America and other parts of the world. It's not that big of a deal to do anything outside of the norm. So I think it's just important to know that just because our culture is that way doesn't mean that's right.